This week on Tech Wrap, China develops its own smartphone operating system, but experts question its originality. Cherry Mobile readies its most powerful smartphone yet with a better than Full HD display and a G Pen. And we round up everything you need to know about the Samsung Galaxy S5. Hi, I'm Michael Josh, and this is Tech Wrap, your weekly source for tech news, gadget reviews, app recommendations, and social media tips. China takes Apple and Google head-on in the mobile computing space with the unveiling of a homegrown China operating system, or COS. COS has the big, hairy, audacious goal of eventually taking over the smartphone OS market share in China, currently dominated by Google's Android. COS is designed specifically for smartphones and tablets used in China. It supports Java and HTML5 applications. An article posted on the Chinese Academy of Sciences website says the main advantage of the domestically developed OS is its seamless integration with commonly used Chinese web services like Sina Weibo and Baidu. But just days after the release, COS is already being called a copycat because of its stunning likeness to Android. With details like length and cost of development undisclosed, even members of Chinese media are doubting the operating system's originality. Philippine-based smartphone manufacturer Cherry Mobile will launch a new high-end smartphone in February. The yet-to-be-named phone will feature a display higher than Full HD and could be included in Cherry Mobile's premium Cosmos line. The new phone will be unveiled at Cherry Mobile's We Are on Fire event on February 4. A teaser on Cherry Mobile's Facebook page shows off a new smartphone with a stylus called the G Pen. The stylus smartphone combo is reminiscent of Samsung's Galaxy Note 3 phablet. Cherry Mobile reps tell Tech Wrap it's a premium phone. We're trying to exceed both the Cosmos and Omega series. Imagine seeing the world through a different lens. Technology brought closer to your senses more than ever before, but at the same time, out of the way like it's barely there. That is the challenge and the marvel that is Google Glass. Perhaps one of the most groundbreaking wearable computers to date, Google Glass is the future of computing. But the road hasn't been easy for early adopters. While smartphones can take photos and video, Google Glass can do it inconspicuously. With no LED light to indicate whether or not a user is capturing a video, privacy buffs are up in arms about the prospect of someone secretly taking photos or video of them. In November 2013, Seattle native Nick Starr was barred from entering a local restaurant after refusing to take off his glass. The Google Glass at a restaurant has its benefits, aside from the usual food photo. Mashable's Pete Pachal tells Tech Wrap he frequently uses glass at restaurants to identify items on the menu.
And it's just one of those things where it's like, oh, this casual access to information, and I can, ask for it verbally without, needing to like fumble through a keyboard. I mean, it's great.
This January, California resident Cecilia Abadi is pulled over for speeding. She is also given a ticket for wearing Google Glass while driving. The case was thrown out because there was no way to prove beyond reasonable doubt that the device was on while she was driving.
I don't have to take them away for driving because the law is very clear that I might not be messing with them all the time. That would be dangerous, but I can have them. I can wear them. It's okay. So I feel very comfortable now. I feel actually, and I love that the justice was made. The law was really respected. The current law allows me to drive with glass, and that's a good thing.
Last week, a theater patron in Ohio was detained and questioned by U.S. Homeland Security agents, accusing him of illegally recording the movie he was watching. After a couple of hours, they found no video recordings on him and let him go. The unnamed theater goer tells TechCrunch, quote, "I signed up for glass, but I guess I also signed up for being harassed by authorities that are unfamiliar with the technology. Some hiccups are to be expected with any new advancement." Google has already taken steps to promote responsible use of glass. The company bans the development of facial recognition apps and requires users to touch the device or give a voice command before shooting a photo or video. As they say, technology comes at a price. But at what price? read the full story and join the ongoing discussion on Rappler.com/technology, you can click on this icon to get there. Remember this viral video from 2012? Don't you wish it was shot in landscape mode? We're so used to using our smartphones vertically, the default, that sometimes we forget to flip the phone over when shooting video. It's actually more comfortable that way anyway. So the folks at Evil Window Dog have developed an app called Horizon that lets you shoot videos in landscape mode even if you're holding up your phone vertically. Actually, it doesn't matter how you hold your phone when taking videos. If you hold it vertically, the app automatically scales the shot horizontally. When you decide to hold your phone sideways, the app adjusts accordingly. To make these smart choices for you, Horizon app uses your phone's gyroscope readings, but that's not all it can do. The app also lets you add filters while you're shooting. Horizon is only available for iOS. The app costs 99 cents, or roughly around 45 pesos on the iOS App Store. There's no word yet if it will make its way to Android and Windows Phone 8. One of the most anticipated smartphones of this quarter is, without a doubt, the Samsung Galaxy S5. It's going to be a make-or-break moment for Samsung after last year's less than spectacular showing. That's not to say the S4 isn't a great phone. It is, after all, one of TechRap's best all-around smartphones of 2013. But in terms of improvements, gimmicky software features marked the biggest change from the S3 to the S4. The device looked and felt pretty much the same. And Samsung Executive Vice President for Mobile Li Younghee agrees. At CES 2014, Li says the S4 wasn't as big a hit as the S3 because it didn't feel different. This year, as it plans to unveil the S5, Samsung promises to exceed expectations. Here's what we know about the device. Initial reports pegged the release to happen sometime in March or April. March 2014 in New York, says one report, quoting a Samsung exec, but tech insiders speculate the device could come even earlier, before or after Mobile World Congress, which takes place at the end of February. This week, Mobile Review's Eldar Murtazin reveals in a tweet the device will be announced in Barcelona a day before WMC, February 23, 2014. Murtazin's tweet also states specs of the new phone are, quote, known. If that's to be believed, the Galaxy S5 will include a 5 or 5.2-inch 2K Super AMOLED display with a resolution of 1440 by 2560. If you do the math, that's a whopping 560 pixels per inch. The phone will sport either a 16 or 20 megapixel rear camera that can shoot 4K video, possibly with a larger image sensor, and will come with one of two processors, either an Exynos 6 or a Snapdragon 805 processor for the LTE variant. Rounding up the spec sheet, 3 or 4 gigabytes of RAM and a 2,900 or 3,000 milliampere battery. Samsung says it has looked into eye scanners, but doesn't guarantee it will ever find its way onto one of their smartphones. A separate report suggests Samsung has also looked into fingerprint scanners like Apple's iPhone 5S. Either technology could make it to the S5. Software-wise, the S5 will run on the latest version of Android 4.4, KitKat, and a new version of its customized Android user interface called TouchWiz. These screenshots from notable Twitter leaker EvLeaks reveals the new design will feature a Google Now-like card interface that provides contextual information based on what the phone thinks you need to know. Your calendar appointments, flight details, social media highlights, and stats from your latest run are organized into a visually appealing column of tiles that you can scroll through. If you look closely, there's also a new app on the home screen called Magazine, hinting that Samsung is bringing an iteration of its Magazine UX to its smartphone line. So what will the phone look like? A recent patent filing shows Samsung intends on a buttonless design. These artist renders are based on these filings, showing a display that is flush